Thoughts on Thursday, it's Reverend Miller.
And Stuart Holmes, ending up on the 5th instead of the 1st chord.
Oh. Well, we are preparing for the third Sunday in Advent. On the third Sunday of Advent, quite a few things happened. It is the Magnificat, or Mary's song. It's also the O Antiphons, the start of, on December 17th, the O Antiphons. And next Thursday, a week from today, is the winter solstice, which is the longest night of the year. And so in Advent, we light these Advent candles. And in a lot of different worship services, we have the lighting of candles and really this idea of overcoming darkness. And one of the reasons we're celebrating all this during this time of winter is because of the winter solstice. And our passage for this Sunday is the first chapter of John, where we hear about the light. And John says, "I'm not the light, I have just come to proclaim the light." And so Advent and coming into Christmas is this celebration of the light of Christ coming into the world. And the O Antiphons are really that celebration of the light coming into the world, but the different names we hear of Jesus. And so there's the 7 traditional ones, and it's, what hymn is it? The O Antiphons? O come,
Emmanuel.
Which is, in fact, that's our first verse, but it's the 7th antiphon. It's the last one. And it goes, O wisdom, O Adonai, which is Lord, O root of Jesse, O king, or O key of David, O morning star, O king of the nations, O Emmanuel. So these are all these images we hear in the Old Testament and then into the New Testament about who Jesus is in this foretelling of our Savior coming. And we end with O Emmanuel, which is God with us. So wisdom, Lord, root of Jesse, that tradition of coming, O key of David, in the line of David, the morning star, which is that image of the light coming into the darkness, and then King of Nations, this idea that Christ has come for not just the Israelites, but for the whole world. And so that's what we'll be focusing on this coming Sunday for the third Sunday of Advent. And we will begin with one of my favorites, O come, Emmanuel, which in our Protestant tradition is just 3 verses, because apparently we get tired of singing 7 verses.
I've been told that by a few.
Okay.
I don't.
You don't. So that's what we're looking at for this coming Sunday, the third Sunday of Advent. Oh, Stuart's back.
Oh, I was just hiding around the corner. I decided to grab a hymnal because you'd started to talk about something. It reminded me when you said, "Break forth the beauteous light."
And that is our middle hymn.
Our middle hymn.
Which I have really fallen in love with. And I think someone famous wrote that, right?
Well, it was harmonized by a Bach, but that's, it's attributed to somebody else.
Someone else, but Bach's in there.
Bach's in there, as he usually is. So I'm going to start with that today. I opened up with Sheep May Safely Graze, which is a piece that I haven't played in probably well before the pandemic, and everybody
seems to
been
know
to the
that, right?
weddings,
Yeah.
that has been to a lot of weddings, would recognize that lilting melody. And it's interesting, on the Sheep May Safely Graze, it's from a cantata that Bach wrote. And I have in my notes here that it was sung by the role of the ancient Roman gods of shepherds, flocks, and livestock. The sheep were peacefully resting, and there was one shepherd, as we who have been around at Christmas know. The sheep stay near their shepherd. The original text reads, "Sheep can safely graze where a good shepherd watches over them." And then the commentary that I used says, "Where rulers are ruling well, we may feel peace and rest." and what makes countries happy. That was written, what, 1800? I don't know, somewhere, and it still applies
It still
today.
applies
It's
today.
still there. So it's something that is special for us.
And that is your prelude.
That's going to be the prelude,
Okay.
and then "Behold a Star" by Felix Mendelssohn is a wonderful, historically appropriate piece from the 19th century, written by Mendelssohn. Mendelssohn was responsible for the resurgence of the music of Bach. Mendelssohn, having followed Bach, Bach's favor had kind of waned. And he was responsible for bringing it back to life for musicians. It says that it was the greatest Christian music for the world. Said of the "Behold a Star" anthem. So we're excited to be able to sing that. It's been in the works at rehearsals for a number of weeks
Okay.
now, and we're looking forward.
And that's
to
the anthem.
That's the anthem.
Nice.
And then the postlude is the tune. Is that
So, to the world?
Joy to the World? Oh, that's it, yeah. Something that we all know. We'll be hearing that this Sunday as the postlude, and then we're going to be singing it on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So.
Which is always something we look forward to, is singing Joy to the World. And then what's our special music, our soloist?
Our soloists are singing, it's a duet with
duet.
Still, Still, Still.
Oh.
Gorgeous.
That's a gorgeous
Oh.
hymn too. I like hymns too much nowadays. Stuart Holmes.
See, I've converted another one.
Still.
Yeah. And the words are gorgeous. One can hear the falling snow, for all is hushed, the world is sleeping. Holy star is keeping. Sleep, sleep, sleep. 'Tis the eve of the Savior's birth.
And we have that as a hymn in our hymnal, right?
We do.
And we've sang it a few times.
Yeah.
Not as much as Joy to the World, but
Choir's done it a number
Yeah.
of times. It's a beautiful solo too.
okay.
So that's the music for this Sunday.
So that's the third Sunday of Advent. Then we're switching over after that to December 24th. We'll have a 10 a.m. morning service. It is a Sunday, and that will be a combination of the fourth Sunday of Advent and also Christmas Eve, the Nativity. And then 11 p.m. will be our fairly traditional carols and lessons with the whole choir. We have special music abounding. And so for the 10 a.m. there will be gifts for children. It's a call out to all children to come, because at the beginning we're going to do the nativity story, and I'm going to involve the children.
This is
And
at the earlier service,
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
And if people come, that only helps telling the story better.
We need more children.
More children. That's exactly what I'm saying. Lay it right out there, Stuart. I love it. So these are our thoughts. Next Thursday we might not be talking with you since we're getting close to Christmas Eve. So thank you for joining us. We hope to see you in worship this coming Sunday, third Sunday of Advent, and then on Sunday, Christmas Eve, 10 a.m. and 11 p.m. And if you're wondering, Stuart, they're two different services, so you might as well come
To both.
to both. All right. Thanks for
And
joining
we'll,
us.
and we'll end with Break Forth.
Break forth. Beautiful.